Hi, how you doing? Today I'd like to talk about cutting costs. But we're going to go somewhere that you might not expect from an accountant. So obviously cutting costs can be a high priority when other costs are increasing. We start to kind of panic, maybe if sales go down. We can start to kind of freak out a little bit and go, oh, I need more money, I need more money, I need to cut this, I need to cut that. And we kind of just do a kind of scattered approach. And, we possibly actually look for the highest expenditure and go, right, okay, let's get that down. Now, I'm not saying that that's not the right thing to do, but what is important before you do that is to establish what the priority is. And what I mean by that is sometimes we might think the priority is to have more cash or have more available to pay something else, or to have more available to bring home for dividends, directors dividends or salary, or just if you're a sole trader, then just drawings. But if we cut something that actually indirectly affects that and conflicts with that goal, then we're kind of making a bigger mess. So what I mean by that, so to take the example, first of all, a sole trader, generally it's a case of, right, well, they might need more money to kind of pay for personal stuff. But then it's a case of, okay, let's look at business expenditure, but let's also look at personal expenditure. Now, we've done this with clients in the past. Now, we had one client a few years ago. We were looking for personal stuff, personal expenditure, and we came across, like we were kind of going through stuff, and we came across Sky subscription, Disney Channel subscription, all that sort of stuff. And she was a bit hesitant to cut this, to kind of, I said to her, can this go? And she was like, well, yeah, can I suppose so? And I was like, and I sensed obviously the hesitation. It was pretty obvious. And I was like, well, tell me a little bit more about that. And to her, it was, although to some people it might seem as a luxury, and on the face of it, it might be a luxury, but actually what that was doing was, rightly or wrongly, it was entertaining the kids, Sky Sports, entertaining the the husband as well. But keeping the kids and the husband entertained while she was able to work on her business. And that's actually, for the price of that, given the time that she got, that she got for that, so I can't remember the cost now, but say it was equivalent, so what she was paying for that per month was roughly the equivalent of, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours of her, actually, a service delivering 2 to 3 hours of her time to a client. Yet she was actually able to probably do a lot more than that. She was able to do some marketing in that time. She was able to do some thinking in that time, some business development, some creative stuff, and also serve the clients in the time that she got available for that. So she got way more than the cost of that back. So for us, it was really important that she kept that cost. So she was then able to deliver the business and grow the business, and she has grown the business. And so to take it into a more direct business cost, so, we might think, for example, like cutting a subcontractor, and maybe there's something we outsource. So we think, right, okay, let's cut that. Let's bring that task in-house, or let's drop that task altogether. It's not like, I don't know, say marketing, for example, right? Let's just dump marketing. Let's cut the marketing budget. That's a common one. Or we outsource some work, whether it's marketing, freelance, legal, accountancy, all that kind of stuff. Let's just call that. Let's bring it back in house. And that might be the answer. That might be the right thing to do. But before you decide on that, it's just taking a step back and go, right, okay, well, what is that going to involve? So, for example, if we cut the marketing budget, what impact does that have on the sales? What impact on that does that have on everything else? If we were to kind of bring something that we currently outsource in-house, what impact does that have then? Who's going to do that? And what are the skills and the qualifications of that person to do that? We see quite a lot of the time, and I'm sure other professionals see similar, but for us, we see a lot of accountancy sometimes gets done in house, and that's for bookkeeping and some of the stuff, that's absolutely fine. But what we also see sometimes things not getting done properly. You know, a VAT return, for example, isn't that the right amount of VAT isn't getting claimed. Sometimes VAT's getting taken on something when there shouldn't be. And a lot of that's actually down to the software, because the software will automatically go, right, well, this kind of cost usually has a VAT element on it, but the supplier that you're working with might not be VAT registered. So, you know, you really need to be careful with stuff like that. Or, you know, you're just not reconciling your bank reconciliations. The software itself can have, you know, it's obviously got a direct bank feed, but sometimes there can be a duplicate, sometimes there can be a missed day, sometimes something can just go a bit a wee bit off center kind of thing, something can get missed. And it's really important that you pay attention to that and you reconcile your bank accounts and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, so if you're bringing accountancy, for example, in-house, then you have to make sure that the person doing that job is either qualified or experienced to do that job. Alternatively, if it's marketing, if you bring marketing in-house, you know, has the person, do they know what they're doing, or are they just posting something on social media and hoping it lands somewhere? You know, so really, really important before you cut a cost, whatever it might be, whether it's a Sky subscription, whether it's a professional fee, whether it's a membership, doesn't matter what it is. Just ask yourself, what does that cost give you? You know, what is it you're getting in return for that? And then, you know, sometimes it's hard to quantify. I get that. You know, I've been similar. But so asking yourself, what does that cost? What do you get in return for that? Who, you know, what is it? Who's, you know, what are you paying for? And then ask yourself, right, okay, if I was to stop doing that, what impact would that have? Or if I was to bring that work, that role, okay, I still want it to happen, but I'm going to bring it in-house, fine. Okay, who's going to do that? Do they have the time to do that? Do they have the skills to do that? And you know, really, really ask yourself those questions before you just do a knee-jerk reaction and go, right, got to cut that cost, got to slash that by 50%. It's just not, that is not a good strategy. Not if you want to grow your business, not if you want to make sure you're continually getting cash, not if you want to make sure you've still got a business in a year's time. So yeah, really, really important, not doing a knee-jerk reaction to cost cutting, but doing a very thoughtful, strategic approach to cost cutting. So good luck with that. And if you want any help, obviously give us a shout. But you know, just really, really think about what it is that you're getting in return for that. What impact is that going to have if you stop doing that? And or what impact will that have if you bring that in-house? Okay.